Hello, it's me, Carrie. So first off, yeah, I got a haircut, but secondly, in honor of BFDI about to have its second episode in theaters soon, which is crazy, I figured let's take a trip down memory lane, and I found this old sketchbook I used to draw in all the time in 2008, and I was scrolling through it, or I guess rummaging through it, and I found my first ever drawings of my characters 4 and X. So I figured we could take a look at it right now. Here they are. So I'll take a photo and... Okay, so here we go. This is the first ever page of the Algebrailians. And as some of you might know, I did this for an algebra class project in middle school where I had X be this character who was depressed because he didn't know his value. But then 4 comes along, he's like, I can help you with that by solving for X using algebra. So right there, that's the first ever appearance of 4. And this solemn panel right here is the first ever drawing of X. And if you look in this corner, I guess the first 2 characters I ever drew were 6 and 7. Let's not talk about that. Let's zoom into the more interesting section of this page. By the way, that's the whole page. Okay, let's do it. So like I mentioned before, this is the first ever drawing of 4. His limbs are quite spindly, but what I think is really interesting is that I have 1 drawn here, but then I scribbled her out and I put a 5 over it. I guess because I wanted 5 to be the character in that spot. But if you didn't realize that was a 5, it just looks like I scribbled 1 out, which is very ominous foreshadowing, I feel like. I didn't even know back then that what was gonna happen with 1. But then also down here, well, you know the classic line that X says, like, oh, I don't know. I just don't know what I am, what my value is. There's a deleted scene here. X says, it's kinda around here. And he's trying to estimate what his value is, but he doesn't know. But some stuff gets cut out before you do the final cut, right? The whole video has to be 4 minutes max, so some stuff had to be cut. Here's page 2. This is the most math-heavy page, so I'm expecting some eyeballs to roll into the back of their skulls right about now. Here's the third and final page of the storyboard, and what I think is funny is that you can see that I'm getting lazier and lazier over time. On the second page, you can see that I draw X with all 4 limbs, but here he only has 2 arms, and by this point, I just draw no limbs at all, and then by this panel near the end, 4's full shape isn't even being drawn, and then it's just the end. And then as we all know, for the last few months of 2008, I learned how to use Macromedia Flash 8 to animate, and you can see these are real characters. It's 5 there, not 1 because I scribbled her out. And there's 4 saying his first lines. It's 4 next meeting for the first time. This is Michael's voice, my brother, and this is my voice. I just don't know what I am, what my value is. And I guess the next 17 years of YouTube animation sagas continues from there.